in this video I will tell you how you can create this crazy coin animation in After Effects. And this is a day 3 of edit like 0x100x, and honestly guys, I really love this animation. And that's why I am sharing this tutorial with you. So without wasting any time, let's jump into it. So firstly select a ellipse tool and create a circle like this. Then go to this fill option and set gradient to linear gradient and press OK. This time select this color palette and change your first color to grey and the second one to black. Now once you done this, press OK and select this selection tool. And then select your layer and just for one time click this fill icon and press OK, and an anchor point has appeared in your shape layer. Simply drag him like this and try to create a shade that exactly I am doing right now. Now our coin base is ready, we just need to add an image of Elon Musk to it. So we just simply search a Elon Musk image, and I think this one is pretty good, so we just simply download this one and simply drag this image in your After Effects composition. Now what you need to do is add a ellipse tool and create a mask like this by pressing shift button in your keyboard, and then adjust this mask according to your image. And once you done this, just simply select your layer and add an effect called black and white. If your image is overexposed, try to play with these settings. So because this is a black and white image, so make sure your image is not overexposing. And then adjust your image between your shape layer, and always keep this in your mind, that is your image should be smaller than your shape layer. Now let's rename your shape layer to coin background. Now select both of your layers and convert them into a 3D shape. And then simply change this camera 3D to advanced 3D and one view to second view. And then always choose your camera view to custom view 3. This is basically another camera angle and it will help us to create animation easily. So for adding depth to our background shape, we just need to increase the extrusion depth value. It will look like this, and as you can see, a glitch is appearing on our second camera. So for fixing this, we just simply slightly drag this blue arrow like this. Now we create a null object and select both of your layers and parent link them to your null layer. And also enable this 3D object in your null layer. And now you are able to rotate your coin like as a 3D object. So now simply duplicate your Elon Musk image and then rotate your null object in a way that makes the back part visible too. Something exactly same that I am doing right now. Now once you done this, simply select your duplicate image and drag it like this until it's become visible to the back part. And now it will look like this. And now simply go to this fill option and make your coin more darker. Now simply duplicate your coin shape by pressing Ctrl D. Now simply remove the fill option and add a stroke to your shape layer. And set your stroke to 1 pixel. Now simply rename this layer to stroke layer so we can easily find it. Now simply go in your stroke layer, then go to the stroke option. Click the plus icon in dashes and increase the dashes value until you get this shape. And then change fill color to a dark grey color. And also decrease the opacity, something like this. Now select all of your layers and make a pre-comp like this. Go back in your pre-comp and go to this null option and add a keyframes all of these rotation keys. And try to create random rotation while using these keyframes. And right now I am also doing the same. Now once you done this, just simply select all of your keyframes and add this quant preset by using flow plugin, and your animation will look like this. And I think our starting keyframes are good, but the last keyframes are not as good as they should be. So what we can do is just simply select your last keyframe and delete them, and simply select all of your keyframes and paste it right here. So it will look like this. Just simply drag this a bit further. Move the playhead to the last keyframes and set these keyframes value to 0. Now your animation is look like this. And if you feel your animation a bit low, So just simply try to adjust your keyframes according to your animation until you get a perfect natural feel. Now simply go back to your main composition and also enable this 3D shape option and apply a deep glow in your layer and adjust the exposure. So for this time I'm adjusting exposure to 0.05%. So after all of this done, go back in your main composition, then enable your coin background and enable this material option and increase the value of specular intensity and specular shyness. There is no fixed percentage, you need to adjust the value according to your animation. Also change the shadow color to a little bit grey. And it will look like this, but here's the thing is, go back in your main composition and remove the dashes option from your stroke layer, because without this our coin is shined more better if we compare to previous one. Now our animation is look like this. Simply create a solid layer and change the color to dark grey and move it behind your coin layer. And then add a vignette in your background layer. And set the amount of your vignette almost 200. Now simply duplicate your coin layer. Now simply duplicate the coin layer and place it below. Like this. So this one is basically reflection of our coin. So we just select this pen tool and create a straight line like this. And then increase your stroke value something around 6 pixels. And then adjust your line like this. And then open the shape layer and this content option. And then again shape layer. And here you can see a taper option. Just simply enable your taper option and increase the value of start length and end length until you get sharp edges like this. And I'm also increase the stroke to 6% to 10% and place your line between your coins like this. Now we are going to work on our. Then adjust your mask and move it slightly up like I am doing right now. And now once you done this, just simply select your shadow layer and add an effect called fast box blur. And increase the blur radius around 12%. And then select your line shape and add an effect called deep glow. Decrease the exposure value to 0.30%. Now I am rotating this shadow exact opposite to our coin, so that makes more sense. And I move it slightly up like this and also adjust this to the center. And I think this mask in our coin layer doesn't look good, so what we can do is just simply remove this and adjust your shadow like this. Now simply select this ellipse tool and create another mask and again increase the mask feather like this. And now simply select your shadow layer and decrease the opacity something around 12%. And now it's give a perfect reflection to our coin. And now create a circle shape like this. And now what we need to do is go to this fill option and select the radial gradient. And then go to this fill color icon and change your first color slab to white color. And it will look like this. Just simply select this selection tool. And now this anchor point has appeared, just simply drag him like this. And then go here and then go to this size option and increase the size value. So it will expand our shape layer like this. Go to your fill option and you will see this point and move it closer to the white color. So for doing this, all the white color is focused in the center. So after this your shape is gonna look like this. Now select your shape layer and go to this blending mode icon and add a color dodge. So your sign is look like this and simply place your sign right here. So firstly let's increase the size. Like this one is better. And grab your layer from the top and squeeze it like this. Now once you're done with this, just simply increase the size of your layer and adjust this right in the center. Now this time we add a text in our animation. Simply add a text layer in your timeline and type whatever you want, and I am using this font. I have already provided the font link in the description so you can get it easily. Let's add the full name of Elon. Simply select M word and change this to capital letter. Now simply select your text layer and move it to the bottom. And then adjust your text size and place it in the middle. Now simply add an effect called gradient ramp in your text layer and change this linear ramp to radial ramp. Simply go to this end of ramp and increase the value like this and try to make a gradient like this that right now I am doing. Once you complete this one, just simply add another effect called blur and fade in your text layer. And believe me guys, this one is my favorite text animation preset. I use this text animation in hundreds of my client edit. Alright, so add a null layer in your timeline and select all of your layers and parent link them to your null layer. And then give a keyframe to position and scale. And then move these keyframes a bit further. And in the beginning, increase the scale size like this. Select all of these keyframes and apply this flow preset in your keyframe. And don't worry, I'll provide you a free version of the flow preset in the description. And if you feel the animation is too fast, so just adjust your keyframes until you get a perfect match. So select all of your keyframes and apply this motion blur effect. So basically this icon gives us a natural motion blur in our animation. So for now, what you need to do is select all of your keyframes and simply copy them and paste it right here and move your first keyframe to the end. And your animation is kind of look like a loop video. And maybe you have noticed that the final animation doesn't look good because we didn't apply the plugin again at the end. So just select your keyframe and apply the plugin again. I think we should move our animation a little bit more further. Like exact right here. Just look at guys how amazing our animation turned out. Like our animation is almost done but our Elon Musk image is overexposed. So for fixing this, just simply go to your Elon Musk layer, select your Elon Musk image and try to play with these settings. Once you fix this overexposed area, then go to your second image which is placed on the back side of your coin. And then simply remove this effect. Then go back to your front image and copy this black and white and paste it into your backside image. So our both images equally look same. And now it's time to give a final touch to your animation. Just simply add an adjustment layer in your timeline. Then select your adjustment layer and add an effect called posterize time. And change the value of your frame rate to 15%. Then again add an effect called noise alpha and increase the amount to 10%. And now your animation is complete. Let's see how it's look. And that is for today guys. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.